I try to run, you follow me, you follow me. I try to run, I try to run, you follow me. My name is Lamont Jack Pearley. I'm a folklorist, applied folklorist. So my work is specifically for the uplift and betterment of my particular folk group, which African American, Black folk melanated, or what I like to call the blues people. We the blues people. My background in the blues is playing more of the despair and rhythmic Delta blues. Low, talk to me. My pattern was usually just on the sixth string, which is the bass string, and then the bottom string. What Corey has done was open my technique and understanding to alternate bass picking, which is on the 4 to 6. It's something I wasn't doing before. Because my blues hero was Son House, I always wore my slide on my middle finger here, my ring finger. And to this day, even when I play a Son House song, I still keep it here. However, Corey had encouraged me and showed me a couple of techniques of utilizing it on my pinky. And that opened my playing of my own personal songs. It also opened my playing for Muddy Waters songs, because Muddy Waters uses on his pinky. So I would try to play his songs with it on my ring finger, and it would be restricted.
I am Corey Leslie Harris. I'm a musician, blues musician. I have maybe about 20 albums I've been recording since 1995. And right now I'm teaching at University of Virginia and studying for my PhD. So yeah, that's basically what I do. I tour, I record, and I study, and I write.
And what we've been working on is Piedmont and acoustic country blues.
You gonna quit me, baby, 'cause I've been to you, Lord, Lord, 'cause I've been to you, Lord, Lord.
Well, geographically speaking, Piedmont includes northern Georgia, northern Alabama, the Appalachian region of North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, even into Maryland. And the sound is characterized, well, it's guitar-based sound, characterized by finger picking, syncopated finger picking. A lot of it has been heavily influenced by ragtime traditions, very danceable music. If you were to contrast it with Mississippi, Mississippi has like a funk and like a despair aspect to it that is not completely lacking, but it's less pronounced in the Piedmont. It's about putting the music and the practice of musicking into context, into historical context, into social context, cultural context, and realize none of this is happening in a vacuum, and it is a reaction to contingent events in history. The music tells a story generally of the history of black folk, and the music serves as a way to remove oneself from the mainstream, from the perils of being black at that time, you know? And so I feel that showing these communities where people were successful in removing themselves away and being able to thrive is symbolic of really what the blues is in a lot of ways, because the blues served to do that for us as well, served to help us to coalesce our ideas, our identity, and also it served as an economy as well, So I'm just thinking about ways that we can think about the larger picture and not just focus on this is the A chord, this is the B chord, like we got to think about things in context. So that's why I wanted to come out here, put it in context.
Well, how they put these stones right there.
Yes.
We're gonna get you up in here.
Mm-hmm.
I think it is still. Yep, it's still functioning.
Yeah, it's still happening. The blues was coming up at a time where, there was the Reconstruction era, minstrelsy was on the decline, and the blues represented, as well as ragtime, represented the first time where black people we were able to express ourselves talking about our true life story rather than having the imposition of the stereotyping that was going on with minstrelsy, where we didn't have any control of the narrative or anything about that. The blues represented something different, and so when we look at the blues on the rise, we also see in that time period during Reconstruction a lot of these black communities getting established as well, and actually thriving, and Prophet represents one of those, So historically, we can tie the birth of the blues and that impulse to be free, to remove oneself to a space that can be safe and to be able to thrive, we can link that to Prophet.
We buried my daddy. That's when everything made sense to me. He was born and died in New Orleans. And we drove out to Belrose for the repast and the actual service in this big church. And, it's funny because you think you know stuff. Because I remember going down south, coming from Brooklyn, okay, we're in the country. But when we get to New Orleans or Harvey or the Ninth Ward, and then my grandparents be like, okay, we're going to the country. And I'm like, but we're in the country.
Yeah.
You find out there's a country.
A country of the country.
That's right.
Country, not country.
And I've been going there since I was a kid, but I didn't know what it was. Belrose, Louisiana.
I used to work there.
See the connection?
Assumption Parish, Bayou Lafourche.
Yes. So the Pearley family is like 95% of this community, and behind that church is the Pearley burial ground.
Okay.
And I've seen it, never understood till this day that we buried my dad. So we go into the repast, and I'm looking around, and the blues and the black spirituals is playing. And I'm really having an out of body experience. And I go home, I talk to my mother who didn't come, because they were divorced. And she started, telling me some things that my grandfather died, her father, who was born in Mississippi. My mother was born in Chicago. You see where this is going. So now all my family from Mississippi and Chicago is out and have the same thing, and I'm like, and then I realized my family's part of the Great Migration. So now I'm going through pictures, remembering moments, remembering going to B.B. King's house in New Orleans with my granddad, because my granddaddy set up a gospel troupe for at-risk youth. So all these things are going through my mind, and that's when I realized I am of the blues people. Now, I spent 20 years of my youth rapping, and I put all that down because I was having writer's block. I thought I was having writer's block because I was outgrowing hip hop, but the ancestors was troubling my spirit until I bought my first guitar, and that's kind of how it happened. I get the term blues people from the Honorable and legendary Amiri Baraka Leroy Jones.
Rising power.
Yes, sir. And he has the Bible of the blues people. And his blues people is the entire diaspora, which is the truth and the case. I specify it to Black Southern Americans that migrated, but it does start, well, I don't want to say start, it is the entire diaspora.
Because, as the world progresses, we're losing a lot of these cultures and a lot of these ways and a lot of this knowledge from all over the world. So, yeah, that's what I hope, is that people can see value in themselves, because that's what I'm trying to do, see value in myself and bring it out and share with the world. And I feel I want to see that from other people.
Well, church, I'm gonna see you some old rainy day. Thank you all. Bless.